We have done a miserable job teaching young people history. And, those of us who...
School. Hillary Clinton does not even make a meager attempt to understand the views of people different than her own. Clinton is blaming critics of the war of being brainwashed by technology and social media instead of believing what they see with their own eyes. So here you see it. The Zionists continue to crash out, going on their CRIE campaign, speaking at universities and public venues all throughout the United States. We just saw the Jewish Federation of North America convene in Palo Alto, California earlier last week, and just some appalling, despicable statements made by the speakers there as they cope about losing the narrative and not being able to control the media. And here we have Hillary Clinton, an uber Zionist, doing just the same.
Who have lived through it. I went to Israel for the first time in 1980, so a long time ago, and I've been back many times.
Yeah, and that would have been, 13 years into their illegal occupation of the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem. So you visited an apartheid state that was internationally recognized as an illegal belligerent occupier in 1980. That is factual, okay?
Times, and obviously, with my husband, deeply involved in all kinds of...
Your husband, who, Bubba?
Activities to support Israel and to, try to be as helpful as possible. But it was astonishing to me because I had so many conversations, and frankly, they often started as confrontations with students, not just at Columbia, but elsewhere. Where were they getting their information?
They're getting their information straight from primary sources in the Gaza Strip who are live streaming their own genocide. Where are they getting their information? Yeah, primary sources.
We're getting it from social media.
Yeah, these people are uploading their primary source evidence to social media.
They were getting it most particularly from TikTok.
How dare they not get their information from the corporate media that we've established before the internet age?
Which is governed by an algorithm at least up till now, still largely manipulated by the Chinese Communist Party.
No, it's not.
Hillary Clinton's asking...
That's so silly. That's a bold-faced lie. Because we know that the entire mechanism that is able to censor and guide the public discourse in the United States is controlled by a company called Oracle, which actually is staffed by Zionists, and they control, or at least they attempted to control, what Americans were seeing on their TikTok feed. So just because it was a Chinese corporation doesn't mean that it's censored the same way as it is in China.
That's not to believe what we see with our own eyes. For 2 years, people have borne witness to a genocide in the Gaza Strip, including mass killing of unarmed people, women, children, and the elderly, and as well as starvation inflicted on the population. Out of all that concern and backlash, Clinton has blamed critics of the war for being brainwashed by technology and by social media platforms. Presumably, she prefers that people get their information solely from her and other pro-Israel activists and politicians, such as her herself and her husband have been throughout their entire lives. The breakdown of the ability of elites to control the narrative on Gaza has manifested in a greater upsurge of sympathy towards the Palestinians, particularly among young people and even among many conservatives who are aghast at Israel's treatment of the people of the Gaza Strip. Clinton, in response to this backlash, has simply doubled down on the familiar Democratic tactic of blaming the voters. In this case, we've all seen for ourselves what happened in Gaza. She preferred that we did not see, and if we did, she'll accuse us of being brainwashed. Until Democrats find a way of changing and embracing the views of their voters on issues like Gaza and others, they're going to have trouble fighting against politicians who can say clearly that they're against genocide and they're against the corrupt policies that Miss Clinton and her ilk have upheld for so many years.
Like, Hillary Clinton has to be especially smug and cynical and neoconservative because she's upholding the same patriarchal hierarchy that, she benefits from. But it's like, in order for her to prove herself, she's got to be a little bit more extreme about sort of like how Mizrahi Jews have to be especially anti-Arab because they have to prove their solidarity with Ashkenazi Jews, essentially. You know, Ashkenazi Jews look upon Mizrahi Jews as lesser than because they are Arabs, essentially.
Miserable job teaching young people history.
So yeah, that's a good cope. Thank you for that. So let's see. We're just going to go through the Instagram feed and see what's going on.
Jesus is a bastard. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jesus is a bastard. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Perhaps you should just be finding a new wife, Joseph.
No, I love Mary, so she's the apple of my eye. But now another man has been between the thighs.
You and you Jesus could kiss my ass, okay? We Jesus, we're proud of it.
All that Christians hold sacred and holy, Israeli Jews, whom American taxpayers support, spit on.
And this is the truth of America's greatest ally.
Wow.
And these are the people where billions of dollars of Americans' Christians' nation tax dollar money, which most Americans are in debt, their money going to these people who hate your religion, and you are in debt.
That is really upsetting to hear. Of course, we do not condone any form of bigotry against any religion whatsoever. So that was deeply upsetting, that video. We accept all religions. Forces crashed a Palestinian children's play and closed the theater. There you see a kid crying. Security forces interrupted the children's performance and gave everyone 5 minutes to vacate. This was in occupied East Jerusalem. Israeli forces stormed a theater that was for a performance made by Palestinian children, and they did this in occupied East Jerusalem. The director of the theater has said they have been forced to close more than 200 times in the past 40 years. Palestinian National Theater, or El Hakawati, is in occupied East Jerusalem. Israel has targeted the venue repeatedly for years. A recent UN report accuses Israel of increasing patterns of violations against Palestinian educational and cultural institutions. I mean, what needs to be said there? It's already like completely gross. It's like obviously they're removing the dangerous threat, you know. The IDF is really doing some great work. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the page to help it grow. And if you'd like to support my work, join my Patreon for exclusive content.